pre-match. He's confident and looking forward to a great day here this afternoon. At half-time you can hear from the Australian Rugby League journalist Steve Mascord. Mascord Brown are here. They've been selling all the Rugby League paraphernalia, the classic PNG World Cup shirts, the Tongan, the Samoan. They've done a roaring trade. I even picked up a England-New Zealand programme from the recent test match in Denver, so give them a check out. Mascord Brown. Josh Fleming says, come on you Bulls. Tim Poulter, Andrew Bedford, come on you Bulls. We're about to get proceedings underway here then at New River Stadium. Let's have some fun. Saturday afternoon Rugby League. It will be Dane Chisholm to get the proceedings underway. And it will be the Scholars with first use of the ball. The sun will be in their faces and they will have to contend with some early Bradford defensive pressure. So we're up and away on Bulls Live and Proper Sport. Chisholm's kickoff is fielded by Bichet, and Bichet immediately will give it to Martin. Martin's going to be brought down just inside his own 20-metre line as the Scholars move the ball over on the left-hand side. As we said, sweltering conditions here. As Steve Smith says, hello Mick at Proper Sport. My last weekend on shift, so back at Odsall in the flesh very soon. Supporters young and old still making the way into this tight, compact stadium, just the main stand where we're calling the action from. It's certainly going to make for a bit of a cosy atmosphere. London have got to the last tackle. They're going to kick behind Pickersgill. Pickersgill will field the ball from his own in-goal area. He thought the bounce of the ball would be kind. In the end, it held up, and Pickersgill's going to be brought down on tackle number 1 for the Bradford Bulls, just a metre shy of his own 10-metre line. It'll be Dalton Grant on tackle number 2, and Grant spent the whole of 2017 here in the capital with the Broncos. Didn't play a game due to injury, but certainly a lot of famous faces greeting the Bulls players on their arrival this afternoon. None more so than former Bradford favourite Amari Caro. He's currently sidelined through injury. Flanagan gets to his feet, plays the ball. It goes to Crossley. Crossley's brought down on the last tackle. Referee Craig Smith, left arm in the air. It'll go from Flanagan to Chisholm. Chisholm's going to kick into space. And is going to cause a little bit of indecision there from Michael Brown. Brown will field the ball in the far corner. And here comes the Bulls' defence of Green and Minchella. Both sides, John, good afternoon. They've had a set of 6 apiece. 2 minutes gone on the clock. How do you see this one going this afternoon?
Yeah, well, last time out here, London only lost by 2 points to York. And interesting, it's very warm, but also it's very windy. I was watching Dane practicing goal kicking before the game. Be interested to see how long, with all due respect, how long London can keep Bradford out for, to be honest. Bradford are pretty potent going forward, and they've just kicked a 40-20 there, I think. But obviously, if you look across the field, Mick, at the trees, extremely windy. But I think Bradford will be a bit too strong for London this afternoon. But it as you say, you don't know, do you, the last few weeks. Every game now is a cup final after last week's defeat. So Bradford have got to be on the game to get the 2 points here.
Some early pressure for Bradford to defend. A 40-20 putting the Scholars on the attack as they move the ball down the left-hand channel. In will come Mikey Wood. And London have just lost a couple of metres there, but they're still in prime position, 10 metres out, just to the left-hand side of the post. Here will go Will Martin. Martin's going to be brought down by Flanagan. Minchella also in there as the second man. Jamel Coleman will float it out wide. There's a bit of a show and go there from Jordan Williams. And London, a metre shy of the Bradford line. We've had 3.5 minutes gone on Bulls Live Proper Sport, and they're looking to open the scoring. The Scholars, it's Ryan Chester, and Chester's held up on his back. Last tackle here for the Scholars. The ball's going to go to ground out wide. They're going to try and chance it in at the corner. Dalton Grant there put his body on the line. Also with Toyo Igodo racing out of the Bulls defensive line. It was a vital play that caused a bit of miscommunication in the Scholars attack, and the score remains 0-0. So a huge lead off the hook there for John Keir's side, John.
Absolutely, I thought Chester had gone over there, by the post. Great set there off the back of the 40-20. Bradford did well there. Said Dalton got out quick there and quashed the attack. Bradford now coming out from their own 20.
Bradford will win the first penalty of the afternoon. Referee Craig Smith says Dalton Grant is impeded. And as we said, we look at the Bradford Bulls side this afternoon. An average age of 23 years and 2 months. Toyo Igodo on debut, 21 years of age. Toyo Igodo, when I was speaking to him at Odsal on Thursday evening, he actually lives just up the road here from the ground. So he's not had to travel far as Toyo Igodo, but certainly he'll be looking to make a big impact this afternoon. As we said, Bradford top of the table, just on points difference after that defeat against York, and they'll be looking to go 2 points ahead of York's test at Bootham Crescent tomorrow against the Coventry Bears. Here comes Steve Crossley. He'll penetrate the Scholars 10. 5 to the left-hand side of the uprights. Flanagan has options. Shows and goes. Fires the ball there to Garside. Garside's still going towards the line. Wrapped up. In fact, it's Minchella in that far stand side. Minchella will play the ball. Back it goes. Chisholm. Grubber kick behind the London line. London, though, they've read that one really well, and it will be Pickersgill who has to come in as the last line of defence there, and it remains 0-0. Kev Hendrick saying the pitch looks really small. Jamie Woodhouse joining us. John Lawler, Chris Melly, Val Turner. Michael Harrison says, come on the Scholars. It's not quite the smallest pitch on the rugby league circuit, as a clever kick is going to force Ethan Ryan to keep the ball in play. What magic, what trickery was that from Ethan Ryan? But the pitch is certainly the third smallest in Betfred League One, behind Hemel Staggs Pennine Way and Workington Town's Derwent Park. So Bradford are going to find it very difficult when potentially shifting the ball out wide this afternoon. It'll go from Flanagan to Grant. Grant's brought down there on the third tackle. Back they're going to come down the middle with Green. James Green striding through the defence. Up and over halfway. Looks for support. He's passed the ball behind George Flanagan. I think the Scholars have come up with an error here. Referee Craig Smith will give the Bulls head and feed 10 metres inside the London half. But we've just seen what James Green can do there, John. Terrifying pace there, breaking out of the tackle.
Yeah, great pace there from Green. Yeah, pity there wasn't a bit more push there from the halves and the outside backs, because Bradford had got away for the first score. But interesting, when he offloaded, the ball just got stuck in the wind there. And luckily, actually, London Scholars ended up knocked on trying to recover the ball, and Bradford now got a scrum on Scholars 40.
Well, there was a bit of a concern if the kick-off would be delayed, because a couple of the Bradford Bulls supporters coaches stuck behind an accident on the M1, but thankfully all the supporters coaches have arrived now, and some of the latecomers just taking their place in the main stand as George Flanagan throws the dummy and moves the ball from the base of the scrum, just shy of the 10-metre line. It's going to be Crossley in at dummy half. Bradford looking for first points here. The 5 metres out in front of the post. It goes to Chisholm. Chisholm to Green. Has Green touched the ball down? Yes, says the referee. Bradford have an early try. We've had 7.5 minutes on the clock. And Bulls Live proper sport. James Green is lighting up this game. His first start in his third appearance, John. And what a prospect James Green could be for the club.
Yeah, looks like a good bit of experience. A real good set there off the back of the scrum. And now Dane's pretty much in front of the sticks here to convert this into 6. Good start from the Bulls. But to be fair, London have kicked pretty well already. And but for a bit of skill there by Ethan Ryan, that would have been the second 40-20 of the game. Of course, these are the days now, isn't it, where we've got to make the most of it, because as the season goes on following last week's defeat, it's about points every week and just got to maximise every opportunity that they can.
Well, it goes without saying that the match this afternoon, a crucial running for the Bradford Bulls after this weekend's game, down to the last 7 fixtures of the season. It's like a 700-metre hurdle race. The Bulls have to navigate this first hurdle. to still stay in the race, but it's looking so far so good for the Bradford Bulls. London Scholars 0, Bradford Bulls 6 on Bulls Live and Proper Sport. James Green, his first try in the red, amber and black, and Dane Chisholm converts from just to the left of the post. Dane Chisholm, 4 from 6 last week, kicking at 86% in 2018, and that is Dane Chisholm's 87th conversion attempt since he took over the kicking from Joe Keys. So Bradford on the restart, up to their own 40-metre line. James Green once again making huge metres forward. Here goes Garside. Garside offloads the ball. Back to Flanagan. Flanagan through a hole. Brought down 8 metres inside the London half. Penalty given because Neil Foreman was laying on George Flanagan there. So the penalty count, 2 penalties to the Bulls. And there's a bit of a wind developing here, John, but you can already see the influence that George Flanagan's having on this match, controlling the ruck, dictating the speed.
Yeah, and I think that's one thing we've lacked. I think we both discussed it during the week. Interesting with Flanagan and Halafihi today to see when the changeover comes, to see what the pace of the game is like. Gonna get it up.
Brandon Pickersgill draws in Mike Bichet, and Dane Chisholm, he has his 12th try of the season for the Bulls. And in the blink of an eye, with 9 minutes gone on the clock, the Bulls have gone back to back. So some costly discipline there from the Scholars. And it now reads on Bulls Live Proper Sport this afternoon. London Scholars 0, the Bradford Bulls 10, and Chisholm will attempt to convert his own try 10 metres in from this main stand side here at the New River Stadium. And that will please John Keir, a professional start from the Bulls, John.
Yeah, looking pretty sharp, but just going back to that point before about in and around the ruck, we know what George is like, and already he's had 2 breaks down the field and we've scored off the back of it. But as I said, points make prizes, and the ultimate prize now is to not lose a game and keep winning by good margins if we're going to push York all the way during this season.
Well, while Dane Chisholm lining up this conversion attempt, let's give a massive shout out to London Scholars and the fantastic hospitality that we've received since we've arrived here at the New River Stadium. Simon Fox, the general manager, a lot of things have been planned around this match, turning it not just into a game but more of an event. Real ale tent, some street food stalls, and the supporters here in this record crowd enjoying every minute of this thus far. Dane Chisholm with a bit of a wobbler, caught the wind that I was just talking about, and Chisholm goes out to 50%, 1 from 2, and on Bulls Live Proper Sport, with just shy of 12 minutes gone now, it remains London Scholars 0, Bradford Bulls 10.
Yeah, unlucky there, Chiz. He drove it low enough, I think, but the wind just caught it, dragged it across the front of the sticks. Bradford look like they mean business today, though, don't they? Make 2 early scores. Interesting how London respond to this. But I think it's going to be a hot afternoon for the Scholars here, and Bradford look like they're going to be pushing to the highest level they can.
Well, John Keir made 3 deadline day editions. Toyo Igodo, who's out there on the left centre with Dalton Grant, Jai Hitchcocks, and Johnny Pownall, who was signed before the 5 p.m. deadline. Johnny Pownall not expected to feature until next weekend, but Bradford 10 points to 0, and so far so good, as Mikey Wood is going to be brought down 10 metres shy of the halfway line. Flanagan to Chisholm. Chisholm through a gap. Here goes Dane Chisholm. Pickersgill on the inside. He's going to float it out to Ethan Ryan. Ethan Ryan towards the corner. What a spectacular try from Ethan Ryan. Momentum took him over the line, and Ethan Ryan has tried 23 of the season. London Scholars 0, Bradford Bulls 14. Ethan Ryan, the homegrown talent, turned down Lee in the off-season to stay with the Bulls, and that is looking like being the best decision he's ever made, John.
Yeah, I don't think he was that keen to go, if I'm honest, but spends a lot of time at our house, Ethan. Great finish again, great break from Dane, but like I said, Bradford have landed, come down here to London, absolutely on fire at the moment. 3 early tries. Like I said, could be a long afternoon for the Scholars boys.
Quick fire tries there from the Bulls. 13 minutes gone on the clock, and it is 14-0 after tries from Green, Chisholm and Ryan.
Yeah, see how Dane does here with the wind. Interesting though, John's brought some new faces in, but everything seems to be going to plan at the moment, which is great because we've learned, I think, already, haven't we, this year, when we missing players and things don't quite go right, but this afternoon things seem to be going all right. And like I said, you've got to maximise opportunities. This is an opportunity here to put some points today. Fair play to Scholars, they're keeping this flagship club going down here in North London, but Bradford are going to be a bit too strong, I think.
Ethan Ryan now will clearly lead Betfred League One. That is his 21st try in League One, 23 in all competitions, and he's just 2 tries now behind Elliot Minchella. Dane Chisholm, he was wide with the restart on the conversion attempt, so 1 from 3 attempts on Bulls Live Proper Sport. London Scholars 0, Bradford Bulls 14. 14 minutes gone on the clock. Flanagan will go down the middle with Wood. Mikey Wood on loan from the Huddersfield Giants, gets to his feet, plays the ball, here goes Chisholm. Chisholm to Oakes. Oakes on this left-hand edge, brought down on the last tackle. Flanagan to Chisholm. Chisholm takes aim, it's a bit of a wobbler. Bit of indecision there between Brown and Bichet. Bichet will take it, give it to Brown on the run around, and they're going to come down this right-hand edge, and the 15 metres shy of the halfway line here are the London Scholars. In at dummy half will be Driver. Just looking to build a little bit of momentum here, Jamel Coleman's side, after conceding those quick fire free tries from Green, Chisholm and Ryan. Ball's been stolen, 2 in the tackle, says referee Craig Smith, and he's going to penalise George Flanagan. Steve Crossley and Mikey Wood, the guilty culprits there, John. So a chance now for London to build a little bit of pressure as Neil Foreman finds touch just outside the Bradford 20.
Yeah, I think, as I said, it's going to be a long afternoon, but just silly things there, like the penalty was given, Steve Crossley throws the ball away. If this was a crucial game and that gets marched 10 metres up the field, you don't need that sort of discipline. It's been a great start for the Bulls, but they just got to keep doing what they're doing, process stuff. Keep saying it every week, and the process isn't throwing the ball away when the decision's given against you.
Here come London Scholars. They're inside the Bradford 10. The ball will go with Jordan Williams. Williams is brought down there by Matt Garside. Foreman out of dummy half to Bichet. They're in the corner. Try will be overruled by the touch judge. Billy Driver had that trailing leg over the touchline. The try will be disallowed. And credit there to Ross Oakes and Ethan Ryan. They put the squeeze on this compact style ground. And the score will remain London 0, Bradford 14. And when we were speaking to John Keir at Tong earlier on this week, he certainly challenged his Bradford Bulls side to bounce back from their first Odsal loss in League One this year by winning all the remaining games to clinch automatic promotion back to the Championship. And John Keir, very astute in his message to the players, in that they have to win every game here on in. It's a pretty easy conundrum to work out, and his message to the players to shake off the disappointment of the York defeat and aim for that perfect 8-game finish. Barbara Batten, Ross Harker, Dave Mason, Christine Robinson joining us on Bulls Live Proper Sport. So Bradford's defence keeping the Scholars at bay. Great advert for League One, it must be said. London certainly making the Bulls work incredibly hard as Crossley will carry him just inside the Scholars half. It'll be an early kick in the tackle there from Jordan Lilly. Jordan Lilly has kicks gone out on the full, and what we've seen there, John, in the opening 16 minutes here at the New River Stadium is Dane shifting to the left. Jordan has clearly gone to the right. And poor Dalton Grant is not seeing much ball. Everything's still coming towards the left.
Yeah, well, it happens most weeks, doesn't it? But I think we got found out with it last week, didn't we? That Ben Cockayne move to half-back by James Ford was very clever. Jordan's not had the ball yet. First touch in and first game out for a while for him as well, you know. Great to see him back on the field and start building his confidence up again. Burst into Super League 2 years ago, but as by his own admission, he's been in a tough space, and it's great just to see him back on the field. And it'll come back for him. We've got to keep building, and it's going to take 20-odd players to win this league, and I know he's one on our side as opposed to against us.
Sweltering conditions here at the New River Stadium as London Scholars have another set of 6, and it will ask questions of the Bradford Bulls' defensive resilience as they move the ball on that left-hand edge. Martin to Jumba. Jumba gets to his feet, will play the ball. It'll go to Coleman. Coleman out to Bichet. Bichet's pass to Fleming, and Matt Fleming, the former London Broncos man, that ball's gone into touch, forward pass, and it will be scrum, head and feet to the Bradford Bulls. So the pressure has been let off on that attacking play. And as we said, if you missed the news late last night, then you'll be glad to know John Keir brought in versatile winger Johnny Pownall on loan from the Toronto Wolfpack for the rest of the season. And I think the more you think about it, John, when you realise Ashley Gibson, Lee Smith out for the remainder of the season, you had to bring in cover.
Yeah, absolutely. I just think as well, Scholars are panicking a bit, trying to score here. They've had some good field. Here goes Toyo.
Toyo Igodo on debut. Will he go the distance? Toyo Igodo! Pass on the inside to Pickersgill. The ball's been knocked on from the Bulls. The chance has gone begging. Toyo Igodo from the base of the scrum on that right-hand edge. We just talked about everything being shifted to the left-hand side, and the Bulls thought about giving the debutant the glory. And I think we've just seen there, John, what Toyo Igodo can do. He has electric pace.
He always has had, Toyo. He's used to be on my drop-off home list after away academy games up north. Real good kid, great family, and like you said, lives down the road here. But yeah, electric pace there from Toyo. He's gone 70 metres. Unfortunately, the offload wasn't quite right there, and Pickers knocked on. But Bradford are really showing some skill and stuff today, aren't they? It's amazing. Here's another penalty now, actually, to Scholars. Bit of silly pushing and shoving. But just to go back to that, Scholars have had some good field position, but what they're doing is they're panicking when they're in possession instead of just ending the sets well. You know, I think there needs to be a bit more of that from them and a bit more composure.
Well, perhaps a little bit of youthful exuberance there on show from Toyo Igodo. Bradford, they had tackles in their bag, and the chance has gone begging. We've just reached the 20-minute mark, a quarter of the game gone. The penalty count, even Stevens at 2 penalties apiece. And once again, it is the London Scholars trailing by 14 points to 0. Looking for first points as they move the ball through Coleman. Over on this right-hand edge, it's going to go to the right centre, Matt Fleming. Fleming's caught high. Referee Craig Smith. This, his second Bradford game of the season. And Bradford have more defending to do. So a bit of ill discipline. The last 2 penalties have gone in favour of the hosts. And 14 points to 0, a try here to the Scholars, really does bring the game back into contention. It's going to go on this right-hand edge. Here goes Charlie Lawrence. Lawrence now looking to orchestrate something in centre field. Foreman Lawrence. Lawrence out wide to Coleman. Coleman's pass has touched a Bradford hand. It will be scrum, head and feet to the London Scholars. I think it touched George Flanagan's right palm there. The crowd not happy, but the touch judge, to be fair, on the far stand side, he was quick to rule that it had come off George Flanagan's hand, and it will be scrum, head and feet to the London Scholars. And once again, more pressure for the Bradford Bulls to absorb with 22 minutes gone here and 18 minutes remaining. Martin, admin person, so to Josh Fleming, Ryan Gould, Jackie Stanton, Ben Redfern, Lee Collins, also joining us on the Bulls Live Proper Sport feed this afternoon. And don't forget, we've got a very special treat for you at half-time. You can hear from the legend, that is Steve Mascord, and get his thoughts on International Rugby League and the current state of the game, and he might even throw in a few comments about the future of live streaming. Here come the Scholars, the post checking in the sunshine here. Bradford backs to the wall, they're on their own line. Foreman out of dummy half, fires it to Lawrence. Lawrence shifts the play on this right hand edge. Good ball and all tackle there from Garside. A tackle remaining here for the Scholars. 4 metres out, Foreman, it goes to Bichet. Bichet floats it in centre field to Ross. Ross is brought down, 8 metres out, last tackle. The noise, electric atmosphere here in the Cauldron. London reverse play, but once again Steve Crossley, the unmovable object we'll call him, he stands firm. Great goal line defence there from Steve Crossley. And on Bulls Live Proper Sport, just shy of 15 minutes remaining here in this first half, and the score remains London Scholars 0, Bradford Bulls 14. Tries from Green, Chisholm and Ryan currently the difference. And Bradford now will move the ball deep inside their own half. It'll be Dalton Grant rolled over in the two-man tackle. Flanagan appealing for a penalty, gives the ball to Green. If you're just joining us, John Keir's pre-match preparations slightly disrupted with the withdrawal of Greg McNally in the pre-match warm-up. So Greg McNally, he felt a tightening of the hamstring. He's been withdrawn as a precaution. And Brandon Pickersgill, who was 18th man, he is out there on the field at fullback. Bradford have just come up with a fourth error in this first half, John. Bit of a, I won't say no-nothing pass. They were obviously looking to stretch the Scholars out wide, but the ball far too low for Ethan Ryan, who had to reach forward, and in the end, it was just too difficult to attain the ball. And London Scholars, to the credit, for the last 10 minutes, all the ball, all the possession has been down inside the Bradford half.
Yeah, and we do that a lot, don't we? We're throwing a missed pass, a 15-metre missed pass on our own 30-metre line and coughed up possession, and there's no need to do it. We're 14-0 up, and you're right, Scholars have come back into this game, but Bradford just need to do what they were doing, which was punching up the middle and then playing, and we've just given away soft possession there. I don't understand that.
Here come the Scholars. Lawrence to Williams. Williams with the half break there. Liam Kirk, who's just come on the field, to the rescue. Here goes Matt Fleming. Fleming is over the Bradford line. Can he get the ball down? Referee Craig Smith says he was tackled on the line, and he will have to play the ball in the field of play. He's literally millimetres shy of that Bradford Bulls try line. Matt Fleming will play the ball. Foreman out of dummy half. Back to Lawrence. Lawrence out wide to Embraga. Embraga will straighten up. Minchella comes in. Last tackle now for the Scholars. What will they do? 5 metres out from the line. Foreman, grubber kick into the defensive line. It's come off a Bradford leg. It was played at. It's another set of 6. And Mike Bichet was the quickest to react to the loose ball. It was like the ball in the pinball machine. The Scholars, can they post their first points? As we said, the conditions sweltering here. And this will be taking a lot out of the Bulls' tank. 14-0 the lead. The Scholars are over the line. They have their first points. It's Lamek Jumba. Jumba scored 2 tries last weekend in London's 28-18 defeat against Whitehaven at the Rec. But Lamek Jumba gets the ball down, I think, John. And it's game back on here at the New River Stadium.
Without being horrible, it's the consequence of throwing a 15-metre pass on our 30-metre line. London have taken full advantage of that. And to be fair to them, as you said, the last 12-15 minutes, it's been all London. Bradford haven't managed to go forward again up the middle. And I think that's what John's game plan is. The pitch is 60 metres wide. The middle's where the action's got to take place today. Make some ground and then play from there. But we don't want to be trying to play too early here.
Sam Grundy says deserved try Dave O'Connell says, shocking defence. Rob Tankard says, come on, you Bulls, wake up. Carl Walker, he has the eye emoji. An eye-catching score. The Bulls' 14-point lead is now down to just 8. Neil Foreman, he adds on the extra 2 points. And on Bulls Live and Proper Sport here this afternoon, with 12 minutes to go to half-time, it is London Scholars 6, Bradford Bulls 14. And we're back on the way. Over on the far stand side, referee will say first knock on from the Bulls. And the Scholars have a huge let-off there on that shaky restart. And let's not forget London Scholars, 4 wins and a draw from their opening 18 games in 2018. They defeated Hemel Stags at Pennine Way by 18 points to 12. They've completed a league double over West Wales Raiders, 76-8 here at New River. They won at Stebburn Heath Park by 62 points to 12, and they've also picked up a 28-20 win against the Coventry Bears. And special credit to Alan Robinson and the Coventry Bears, currently 11th in the table, and they take a 4-game winning streak to Bootham Crescent tomorrow afternoon, where they face the York City Knights. That's a game you can listen to on Proper Sport tomorrow, so you'll be able to join me from 2:45, 2:45 tomorrow for that game. London Scholars now 15 shy of the halfway line. They've certainly bossed and been in control of this game for the last 10 minutes or so. They've got a bit of newfound confidence. Here goes Matt Ross with the ball. Ross is inside the Bradford half. Big fend off there. Matt Garside had to come in and wrap him up. Last tackle, says the referee. Coleman straight down the throat of Ethan Ryan. Ryan on the 20. Runs lateral. Thinks about the pass. Oh, to Dalton Grant. Here goes Dalton Grant. Dalton Grant, 2 tries last week against the York City Knights. He's up for the career 100, and that penalty now to the Bulls will level the penalty count at 3 penalties apiece, and a crucial penalty here coming up for the Bulls. Jordan Lilly with ball in hand. He'll look to find touch on the far stand side, and Bradford a full set of 6 now, 40 metres out from the Scholars line. And with 10 minutes to go to half-time here at New River Stadium, Bradford, they will be hoping to regain their focus and try and get a 4th try. Peltier on tackle 1. Kirk on the 2nd. Flanagan, 20 metres out, scoops the ball to Chisholm. Chisholm to Pickersgill. Pickersgill wrapped up. 15 out. 5 to the left-hand side of the post in centre field. Chisholm probing. Finds Kirk. Kirk now fronts up, goes down the middle once again. 4th tackle gone. Kirk's 2nd carry in this set of 6 as Flanagan penetrates the 10. Out to Minchella on the right-hand edge. Last tackle, says the referee. Jordan Lilly also involved on the play. Flanagan tries to pinch one from dummy half on the power play, and the play is extinguished. Good defence from the Scholars, and the score remains London Scholars 6, the Bradford Bulls 14 here at the New River Stadium. Round 19, as we said, Bradford and York both locked on 32 points apiece, and any supporters watching from York, watching the footage on Bulls Live Proper Sport this afternoon, they will certainly be lapping this one up, because they know their next 3 games, no disrespect to any of the sides they face, but a huge statement of intent can be made by York in the next 3 games, because they host Coventry at home, North Wales at home, and West Wales Raiders away. So a chance for York to make a huge dint into Bradford's superior points for and against, which currently stands at plus 100. It was plus 92 going into this afternoon's game. Bradford leading by 8. That takes it up to 100. The challenge facing James Ford's side will come all too more clearer at around about 5 o'clock this afternoon. Here come the Scholars, though, looking to stretch open the Bulls on the right-hand edge, but once again, Steve Crossley, great defence. And that will be the last tackle for Jamel Coleman's side. 4 men in at dummy half. It'll go to Charlie Lawrence. Charlie Lawrence straight down the tram line over the head of Brandon Pickersgill. And that's a great kick there from Charlie Lawrence. Cool, calm, composed. He's turned the Bulls around, John. And I've got to say, without a hint of bias, the last 10-15 minutes have all belonged to the London Scholars.
Charlie Lawrence is Joe Keys' ex-halfback partner from the Broncos Academy. Charlie played halfback, hooker, great lad, always had a great kicking game. I agree with you, but I do think Bradford have lost the way a bit. I think they've been overplaying a little bit. But Scholars are working so hard, both in defence and going forward. It's a real credit to them. And, you know, they've turned the ball over there on Bradford's 10-metre line, which is great. 5 minutes to half-time, and to be honest, it's 14-6, Mick. You know, the game for me is still pretty close.
So Bulls Live proper sport. We have exactly 7 minutes remaining, and still it remains a tight contest here. Just as York found out 2 weeks previously, they escaped by the skin of the teeth, 22 points to 20. Great little pass there from Jordan Lilly. Lilly's fine Pickersgill. Pickersgill's brought down 8 metres inside the Scholars half. Tries to get a quick play the ball in. London Scholars defenders not retreated quick enough, and that is the 7th penalty of the afternoon. 4-3 in favour of the Bulls, and once again they're going to have an opportunity with 6 minutes to go to half time here, deep inside their opponent's half. Jordan Lilly, his second Bradford Bulls debut, will find touch just outside the Scholars 20. Lilly appeared for the Bulls 12 times under Jeff Tuvey last season, scoring 4 goals in that defeat against Oldham at Bowerfold. Here come the Bulls inside the 20-metre line as Jordan Lilly goes through a hole, loses his footing. George Milton's back out on the field. Here goes Flanagan to Ross Peltier. Peltier crashes over the line, and Ross Peltier, with 5 minutes to go to half-time, has scored a crucial try. It was like the express train just steaming through 125 mile an hour. There was nothing there that Fleming and Bichet could do. And Ross Peltier, that was brute force personified. Too big, too strong. Peltier has a 7th try of the season.
Yeah, Bradford are lucky, eh? And I don't mean lucky to score, but they've got 2 players in Crossley and Peltier who 10 yards out carrying the ball. You're going to struggle to stop them. And Ross just bashed people out of the way. They didn't need to get the ball down. Great for him. Another 2 easy points here now for Dane to convert. And the score looks a bit more respectable. But Scholars are giving Bradford a big test here this afternoon. Be interested to see what the second half brings. But I think Bradford needed that. I think if Scholars scored next, it'd be even tougher assignment.
Well, Dane Chisholm will attempt his 4th conversion of the afternoon. Bulls Live proper spot. Dave Mason says great try. Nick here, go on Big Ross. Chisholm on point, adds the extra 2. Bulls Live proper sport. 36 minutes gone here at New River Stadium, and it is now Bradford out to 14 points. They lead by 20 points to 6. And let's not forget what is happening tomorrow in Betfred League One. Doncaster host Oldham. It's Hemel Stags against West Wales Raiders. The bottom 2 meet at Pennine Way. Keighley Cougars host Hunslet in an all-West Yorkshire derby affair. North Wales Crusaders host Leon Price's Workington Town. That probably one of the pick of the ties of the round, and it's Whitehaven, Newcastle, and as we said, we'll be at Bootham Crescent tomorrow for York City Knights against the Coventry Bears. We'll be on air at 2:45, 3 o'clock, the kick-off at Bootham Crescent. It's certainly going to be an exciting running in the final 7 games to the season. So Milton out there, so too Halafihi, who has come on for Flanagan, and Lilly with ball in hand now. Out to Chisholm. Chisholm to Garside. Garside's brought down just shy of his own 20-metre line. Here goes Halafihi. Missed the last 2 after being rested by John Keir. He'll inject pace out of the ruck. Chisholm, Garside, out to Ryan. Ryan keeps on to the ball. passes it on the inside. It's picked up by Matt Davis for the Scholars, but Ethan Ryan is adjudged to have a foot in touch. So it'll be Scholars head and feed, a 6th error from the Bulls in this first half. And as we said, John, the average age of the side is 23 years and 2 months. It is still a very raw, inexperienced Bradford side on the face of it.
On the face of it, it is, but the lads got some great experience last year. We were talking about 20 and 21 years old last year. Apart from Dane and Crossley and a couple of others, there are some young lads out there, but they've had some good experience. A few Super League players out there for Bradford today as well, don't forget. But to me, again, we're 30 metres out and we've tried some that just wasn't on a really narrow pitch, playing in a 5 metre space with 4 blokes. Don't need to do it. Punch up the middle like we were doing in the first 10 minutes.
London Scholars then with 2 minutes to go to half time will look to shift the ball. Here goes Matt Fleming, former St Helens man, wrapped up on his back by Matt Garside. Kirk also in there as the second man. Out of dummy half, it will move from Ross, and Matt Ross there looking to get involved to Sykes. Quick play the ball. London inside the Bradford 10. Once again, Bradford having to cling on here. They're on the ropes. Last tackle, 5 away from the line. Over on the left-hand edge. Can Bishir get the ball out? No, he can't. And it was Michael Brown, I believe, on that far-stand side who will take the tackle. And Toyo Igodo, once again, with Jordan Lilly, the 2 young Bulls players on debut, coming up with a crucial 2-man tackle. And the final 90 seconds here, we'll just see the Bulls calm things down, you feel. Lilly calling for the ball. He won't get the ball because Ethan Ryan's held in the tackle. So another penalty coming up here for the Bulls. 5-3, their lead on the penalty count. Chisholm with the place kick. Finds touch. 10 shy of the halfway line. Martin, admin person, says. Barbara Bodas, Rob Tankard, Chelsea, Baird out, all commenting away. Bulls Live Proper Sport. Halafihi to Milton. Milton's first game in 10 games, recovered from the fractured eye socket. Here goes Halafihi down the right-hand edge. Third tackle gone here for the Bulls, 25 metres out as it goes to Lilly. What can Lilly do? Lilly's pass goes behind Chisholm, picked up by Pickersgill. The touch judge just said knock on by Dane Chisholm, and it will be scrum head and feed to London Scholars. And I think when you look back at Jordan Lilly, Dane Chisholm, their partnership last season was for 1 game, was at the Summer Bash. The hooters just sounded, but the referee did stop the clock. So he is going to say half-time. So the hooter comes to the Bulls' rescue, John, but certainly in first half terms, you could say a first half of 2 halves, because the first 20 minutes, all the Bulls setting the stall out early with tries from Green, Chisholm and Ryan, but then we saw some resistance from the Scholars, and they certainly bossed the middle part of that game.
I think so. I think the score actually flatters Bradford a little, if I'm honest. But as I said earlier on now, Scholars last set when they turned over 5 metres from the Bradford line, much better. I think Bradford got a bit more clinical. Cut out the overplaying in their own half. We don't need to do that. The time to play is when you're up in good ball. And yeah, we've had some great breaks and tries, but gone away from what they were doing the first 15 minutes. But I think need to be a bit more clinical and professional second half.
Well, it's half-time here at New River Stadium on Bulls Live and Proper Sport. London Scholars 6, Bradford Bulls 20. We're going to hear from Steve Mascord and Tom Maguire after this.
Should be all right. Welcome back to Bulls Live here on Proper Sport. What did you make of that first half? Get in touch with us here in the comments, and thank you very much for watching. And make sure you share the video as well. Interactive television at its finest here on Rugby League. And I know a man that's sat next to me is, well, he's got a few things to say, of course. We've got Steve Mascord here, Mascord Browns as well, Rugby League journalist, author. You do it all, don't you?
Yeah, Tom, I'm trying to get out of journalism because we all know things aren't going well in journalism. But yeah, unfortunately, I can't talk about the first half very much because I was holding down the fort. Literally, our marquee Mascot Browns, our merch business, it almost blew away a couple of times.
Well, it is a bit worrying because the crosswind of this game, it is quite. You'll see from Chizzy's kicks so far, it can be affecting the players a little bit. So I don't know if it's because it's such an open space, but anyway, what have you made of the first half of what you've seen then, Steve?
Yeah, well, as I said, I just
about to start at Odsal Stadium. Half time, it's currently 22 points to 4 to Yorkshire in the Academy Origin fixture. I won't go into too much why that fixture's been scheduled at Odsal in Bradford the same day 1,000 Bulls fans are down here in New River, but the mind really does boggle. But here at New River Stadium, what a second half we have here, because it's London 6, Bradford 20. A lot to play for in this second half. Bradford will play from left to right. They will have first use of the ball, and they will play across your TV screens. And Bradford, let's see what they can do. They have a 14-point lead. Sam Grundy, more clinical second half, please. And Caroline J. John Kears, 2 points is all that matters. And momentum, the key. Can the Bulls build some at the start of the second half? They have the ball, 3 tackles gone. With 30 seconds gone in the second half. Milton out of dummy half to Lily, to Michela. Michela's pass to Pickersgill. Pickersgill will get the quick play of the ball, and it'll go to Lily. Lily out to Igodo on this main stand side. Igodo with ball in hand. Crossfield kick. Banana kick picked up by Oakes. Oakes inside the 10. Kicks for Ryan. The Bulls have scored an absolutely sensational try at the start of the second half. What a kick from Toyo Igodo on debut. Wow.
Well, if he meant that, I'm a Dutchman. But it worked out all right in the end. Good thinking from Ross Oakes as well. Little grubber behind there. And Ethan, of course, Mr. Finisher. Just rushed in there and got the ball down as he always does in impossible circumstances. But yeah, I'm not sure whether Tottenham are looking at Toyo at the moment, but they might do after that.
Well, Toyo Igodo, born on White Hart Lane, a massive Tottenham Hotspur fan. And that kick, well, it might catch the eye of Tottenham Hotspur manager Mauricio Pochettino. Sometimes those little 1%ers, those unorthodox moves come off, and that was certainly one of those magical plays. Dane Chisholm over on the far stand side to add on the extra 2. The wind will carry it, but it's going to cross the face of the post. So just the extra 4 points to the Bulls to start this second half. And on Bulls Live Proper Sport with Mick Gledell, John Keys, Steve Mascord, your call team this afternoon. It is London Scholars 6, Bradford Bulls 24. 42 minutes gone on the clock. And Ethan Ryan just had too much toe to touch down in the corner. Shane Moore says, what a kick. Dean Holdsworth, Barbara Batten, wow, what a try. Kevin Ward, sloppy from the Scholars. And Sam Grundy and Steve Potts, unbelievable try from the Bulls. And once again, Bradford a little bit shaky from the restart. And the penalty count, 5 penalties apiece now. Someone's been taken out off the ball. Mark Atax's great interview and programme. Keep up the good work. It's made a boring Saturday afternoon a decent afternoon. Well, let's see if we can turn the decent into a fantastic afternoon. London Scholars, can they hit back? Driving towards the line in the far corner. Foreman in at dummy half, looks at options. Gives the ball to Lawrence. To Coleman. Out wide to Jumba. Jumba scored the Scholars' first try in that first half. As Lawrence now goes down that left-hand edge. Last tackle for London Scholars. They're trailing by 24 points to 6. 18 points. The kick comes in out of dummy half from Michael Sykes, but Bradford fastest to react. Ross Peltier dives, smothers on the ball. And here goes George Milton on tackle number 2. The former Hulkiston Rovers man will be brought down just outside his own 10-metre line on his return to action. Here goes Liam Kirk. Tackle number 3. Done and dusted. Bradford still inside their own half. Lilly to Minchella. Minchella to Igodo. Igodo to Grant out the back door. And Toyo Igodo is certainly enjoying his debut here this afternoon. Lilly links with Chisholm. Chisholm back to Minchella. Minchella through a gap. And he's brought down on the last tackle. 25 metres out from the London line. Halafihi to Lilly. Lilly, crossfield kick. Anything Igodo can do, Lilly can try. And a great tech on the far stand side there by Billy Driver. And that will avert the danger there for the London Scholars. So if you're just joining us, it's Bulls Live, proper sport. Let us know where in the world you're watching this game from. And I noticed in the first half a few comments about the weather back in Bradford. And I must confess, when I walked down to Foster Square train station this morning without a coat, and I got absolutely drenched, I did wonder, had I made a monumental mistake in leaving the house without a coat? But the weather gods certainly looking kindly down here in the capital, and the Scholars have come up with only their 4th error in open play. So Jamel Coleman will be relatively pleased with their application in this match thus far. So scrum, head and feed to the Bulls. 10 metres inside the London half. Chisholm. Halafihi to Lilly. Lilly's ball behind Minchella, picked up by Igodo. Igodo wrestled backwards there by the big man, Michael Sykes. Here goes Halafihi. Peltier. Peltier's brought down. 15 metres inside the London half as it now goes down the middle with Minchella. Lilly organising the forwards. Certainly having a vocal influence on proceedings. There's a flat pass there from Halafihi to Kirk. Picked up by the officials. Bradford's 8th error so far. And it'll be scrum, head and feed to London Scholars. Andrew Farrell says, still throwing it down here in Bradford. Sue Bullard watching in Ipswich. Very sunny here. Dean Holdsworth, Australia. No streaming problems. Carl Walker watching from Dudley in the Midlands. Katie Tidswell from Portugal. And Gary Franklin, I think, thus far, although Rachel Dolphin's just beat him, she's watching in Washington, D.C., but Gary Franklin watching from the side of the pool in Calais, Spain. Don't forget, Bradford's next fixture will be next Saturday at home against Whitehaven, as the London Scholars come up with their 2nd error at the start of this second half, and that once again will let the pressure off and destroy any momentum they were building. Mary Hurst watching from New Zealand. So let's just look at the running while this scrum forms. Bradford's last 7 fixtures, they will have 4 home games against Whitehaven, Workington, Keighley and Hemel. After this afternoon, the Bulls will travel to North Wales and Wrexham, West Wales and Llanelli, and also visit Oldham and Whitebank Stadium. For the York City Knights, their final 8 fixtures, crucially for James Ford's side, 5 games at home against Coventry, North Wales, Hunslet, Oldham and Whitehaven, and away fixtures against West Wales, Workington Town and Hemel Stags. One feels it could go all the way right up to round 26, and the automatic promotion place settled on points difference. Here come the Bulls looking to capitalise on the 5th error from the Scholars. Peltier inside the 10. Halafihi to Kirk. Kirk wrapped up on the last tackle. Referee has his arm in the air. Halafihi out of dummy half. Touches the ball down. Welcome back to the starting side. Vila Halafihi, you have try number 7. And after missing the last 2, John, Vila Halafihi now is going to put pressure on George Flanagan and Sam Hallas.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you ask me, I wouldn't have dropped him in the first place. Really good going forward, Vila. Got great vision and scanning when he approaches the ruck. Great to see him get over a score on his return to the team.
Well, the latest score coming in from Odsal Stadium, it was Yorkshire 22 points to 4 at half time, but Lancashire have hit back with 2 quick tries, and it's now 22 points to 14. So an 8-point ball game in the Academy Origin fixture at Odsal this afternoon. The return game you might be able to see live, but it is 28 points to 6 as Halafihi scores and Chisholm converts. So Vila Halafihi on his return to action. He now has try number 7 of the season. And Dane Chisholm now up to 3 from 6 attempts. So Chisholm, he's kicking at 50% this afternoon. The sun back from behind the clouds. And with exactly 50 minutes gone in this game, on Bulls Live and Proper Sport this afternoon, it is London Scholars 6, the Bradford Bulls 30. And do you think this scoreline, John, is a fair reflection of the efforts from the Scholars? Just to trail by 24 points?
I think so. I think there's also been a couple of strange decisions from the Scholars with regards to kickoffs for me. Gone short on 3 times this half. Even started the second half of the short kickoff and Bradford scored straight away, but Bradford are slowly turning the screw, aren't they? And the fitness will tell here in the next 20 minutes.
Well, Jamel Coleman's side get the ball back from the restart. Here they go, big strong charge down the middle from Matt Ross. Lamont Bryan also doing the big heavy yards forward. And Bradford forced to defend on their own goal line. Here it goes with Charlie Lawrence. Lawrence finds Chester. Chester brought down in a 3-man tackle. Last tackle have extinguished their full set of 6. It's on the last. Neat little pass from Bryan. And the ball's gone to ground there, so a bit of miscommunication there. Eddie Embraga and Lamont Bryan coming up with the error. And Bradford will just play the ball. 51 minutes gone, 29 minutes remaining. For those just joining us, we'll quickly go through the Bradford lineup once more. Greg McNally was a late withdrawal. He felt a tightening on the hamstring, so Brandon Pickersgill started at fullback. The wing-free corner line, Ethan Ryan, Ross Oakes, Toyo Igodo on debut, and Dalton Grant. Debutant making his second debut for the club, Jordan Lilley, in the halves with Dane Chisholm. The forward, Steve Crossley, George Flanagan, James Green, Matt Garside, Elliot Minchella and Mikey Wood. And on the interchange bench for John Keir's side this afternoon, Ross Peltier, Vila Halafihi, George Milton and Liam Kirk. As we've already confirmed, Ashley Gibson, James Laithwaite, Lee Smith. After picking up a knock in last week's defeat at Odsal against York. So Bulls Live Proper Sport, London 6, Bradford 30. Neil Ramsden watching in sunny Great Yarmouth. Peter Ridge joining us from Jamaica. And Bradford have the ball on their own 30-metre line. They're going to explore options on that left-hand edge. And that's going to be Matt Garside, the former Sheffield Eagle and London Broncos man. Brought down just shy of the halfway line. Halafihi to Chisholm. Chisholm with electric pace. looks for Pickersgill, kicks for Ryan. Ethan Ryan is going to score a spectacular hat-trick here at the New River Stadium. Ethan Ryan, 25 tries for the season. Dane Chisholm, Ethan Ryan, they were on the same wavelength there, and there was nothing that Billy Driver could do about that. Unfortunately for Billy Driver, Ethan Ryan, one of the most gifted finishers in Betfred League One. You could say outside Super League, John. A deserved hat-trick from Ethan Ryan.
I think you would. I just said it though, a couple of minutes ago, didn't I? Bradford just turning the screw. Great break by Dane, but for me that's what's expected of him in this division. He might feel that pressure a bit sometimes, but just glided through the middle there, didn't he? And interesting to actually see him and Lilia swapping around a little bit here in this second half to give them the freedom to play, but I expect Bradford to get 4 or 5 more tries in the last 25 minutes.
Great creative work there from Dane Chisholm. Cut through the gap, looked up, saw Mike Bishop coming towards him. He could have passed on the inside to Brandon Pickersgill, but such is the confidence between Chisholm and Ryan. He kicked it out wide, almost expecting Ethan Ryan to be in position. And cometh the hour, cometh the man. Ethan Ryan popped up and touchdown. Chisholm wide again. He remains on 3 from 7 attempts. So the wind perhaps affecting his kicking radar this afternoon. But with 55 minutes gone on the clock here at the New River Stadium this afternoon, it is a hat-trick to Ethan Ryan. That will be certainly the headline writer's act as we get back underway via the boot of Eddie Embraga. And once again, the Scholars have the ball back from the restart. Here they are, 20 metres out. That might be a question to ask John Keir post-match about the Bulls' apparent inability to deal with these restarts. But the sun once again back from behind the clouds. It really is a scorcher of an afternoon here in the capital. Can the Bulls weather this London Scholars storm as we approach the hour mark here? Bradford leading 34 points to 6 as it goes to Lamont Bryan. The huge frame there of Lamont Bryan wrapped up, turned in the tackle by Ross Peltier. They're going to try and cross here with Matt Ross. Ross is wrapped up on the last tackle. Amina out from the line. Lamont Bryan, Toyo Igodo comes in. Try-saving tackle from Igodo and Minchella. And that is going to please John Keir. John, because that scrambling goal line defence, fierce, doesn't want to give the Scholars an inch.
Absolutely. I just feel a bit with the Scholars. Their options on the last play and in good ball are quite, not limited, but the execution's not as good as Bradford's, obviously. But you know what? They've created a few more scoring opportunities again, haven't they? I mean, great defence there from them. And now it's a goal line dropout. So fair play, they didn't get over, but some fantastic defence from them there. Going to get another set of 6.
That was a phenomenal effort there from the London Scholars defence, led there by Matt Ross and Charlie Lawrence. There was nothing that Brandon Pickersgill could do. And just when the Bulls were giving the forwards a couple of minutes off, London Scholars have forced the Scholars have forced the first goal line dropout of the afternoon. Here goes the big man, Lamont Bryan, down that left-hand edge, up and over halfway. Big, strong charge as Matt Ross now tucks the ball in, brought down in a 2-man tackle. Minchella and Kirk, the 2 Bulls defenders. Here goes Lawrence. Lawrence to Fleming. Fleming on the right-hand edge towards Driver. Quick play the ball once again from the Scholars, although the referee puts whistle to lips and he will say that is an error, and that now will be head and feed to the Bradford Bulls. The Scholars now, 6th error of the afternoon. Jerry Sutcliffe joining us, Dave O'Connell, Rob Tankard, Lee Smith, Lenny Smith, Mick Dobson, Keith Harrell. Just give a shout out to everybody watching the game in the Black Bull in Clayton. They've managed to work out how to live stream the game on the big screen there. So hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the capital and Bulls Live Proper Sport to everybody watching the game on the big screen in Clayton. Here come the Bulls. a familiar sentence with a lot of familiarity as it goes from Halafihi to Kirk. Here goes Lilly. Lilly taking the line on. Great tackle, though, on Jordan Lilly. Lilly gets the quick play the ball in. Here goes Minchella. Minchella runs behind Halafihi. Back in centre field to Peltier. Peltier colliding there with the big man. And Dame Eric Pello there, sorry. He's going to come in over the top. And Halafihi now looks to find Chisholm. Chisholm, line break. Chisholm! Oh, my word! Dane Chisholm! Wow! Well, it's created tries for Ethan Ryan. He wants to get in on the act now. And I tell you something, if you want to Google Dane Chisholm, it will not bring up
another great break. Scholars are getting tired, aren't they? Bradford running in, not tries at will, but more or less on the play. Great step from Dane. Could have offloaded a bit and decided to go himself. Going to add another 2 points here to the total.
Dane Chisholm now, second try of the afternoon. Up to 13 tries for the season. And Gary Boucher says that's the Dane Chisholm we know. Steve Potts, Chisholm at his best. Leon Waterworth, that's more like it from Dane. Dane Chisholm finds his radar. 4 from 8 attempts. And we've just hit the hour mark here at the New River Stadium. 60 minutes gone, 20 minutes remain. London Scholars 6, Bradford Bulls 40. And the game ever so slightly just running away from the Scholars 1 fields. Chisholm so far this afternoon, 16 points from Bradford's 40. So 8 tries to 1. And Bradford now on the heavy figure of 187 tries in the John Keir era. They've conceded 65. 1-8-7. Certainly the entertainers of Betfred League One, and they're looking for more points now. Here goes Halafihi, wrapped up in a 2-man tackle, 20 metres inside the London half. And referee Craig Smith just loses a little bit of patience there with the interchange forward of Matt Ross and Matt Davis. And he'll put whistle to lips and give Bradford the first penalty of the afternoon. So Bradford, with the swirling ring round this open stadium, they're not going to find touch. They're going to run it in from 20 out. Chisholm on tackle number 1, brought down in a 2-man tackle. Just to the left-hand side of the post. Halafihi, Milton, to Lilly. Lilly's going to score on his Bradford Bulls debut. And Jordan Lilly, he turns and says, where was my invitation? It got lost in the post. He's turned up to the party anyway, and it's a 9th try for the Bulls. 44 points to 6. Jordan Lilly at his best there, John.
Yeah, great push there from Jordan, but it's becoming a bit too easy, isn't it, I think. Dane took the line on there, got tackled, and then all of a sudden there's 2 more playmakers running at the London Scholars defence, and Bradford are pretty much scoring at will at the moment.
A 9th try of the afternoon. Jordan Lilly, he gets a huge round of applause from the Bradford faithful. They've certainly accepted Jordan Lilly as one of their own. And Lilly, will that be the first try of many in the red, amber and black? Let's not forget Jordan Lilly, his second spell at the Bulls. It'll allow him to buy into John Keir's vision. It's an 18-month loan. And Dane Chisholm will look to add on an extra 2 points that could push the Bulls out to 40 points with the right boot. It's skewed, but it goes between the posts and just over the crossbar. And the Bulls have gone back to back there. Chisholm now 5 from 9 attempts here at the New River Stadium. We've still got 18 minutes remaining here. And John, I think we've got to give a lot of credit to the Scholars for that first half performance. I think, unfortunately now, with the humidity and the heat, how much energy is left in the tank is going to be a very pertinent question.
Yeah, I fear for them a little bit, as I said. I think Bradford were turning the screw here early on. And I also think that Bradford, as I said a couple of minutes ago, there's still 4 or 5 more tries. There's 18 minutes to go yet. London look out on the feet at the moment, don't they? Interesting that the collisions, Bradford are making 10 and 12 metres every carry. And London are just struggling to cope with it at the moment.
Bradford already up and over halfway. Green turned over on the back, and James Green looks in a lot of pain immediately. Vila Halafihi asks the referee to come over, and referee Craig Smith will just have a look on. Matt Duke over on the far stand side, the Bulls physio straight out of the Bradford dugout. John Keir watching on, a concerned look. And James Green, thankfully to his feet. Nothing too serious there, just an awkward roll in the tackle, nothing malicious, and Green will play the ball. Here comes Chisholm. Chisholm to Lilly. Lilly to Minchella. As we said, Chisholm and Lilly looking a lot more effective in the second half. It was always going to take a while for them to get used to each other. Chisholm goes high, looking to put Bichet under pressure. Bichet takes it in the field of play. Pickersgill clatters Bichet in the in-goal area, and the referee will say that is a goal line dropout. A repeat set of 6 here coming up for the Bradford Bulls.
I thought Pickers was going to get to that, and snatch it in front of Bichet and score. Great follow-up, great tackle. Now another repeat set. As I said, this vice is just getting tighter and tighter in it for London, and they're struggling to get out of their own end and make any field position at all here. And now they've gone for a short kick-off, which I don't understand either, but Garside's retained the ball there and made a good 5-6 metres. Bradford are 9 metres out.
Bradford hunting a 10th try here in the capital. Capital punishment for the Scholars. It certainly is in this second half. The Bulls on a roll. They've scored 26 unanswered points as it goes once again on that left-hand edge towards Garside. Garside brought down 5 metres out, 2 metres in on the far-stand side. Halafihi, bullet pass there to Green. Green striding forward, wrapped up, 8 metres out, just to the left of the post. Great field position here for the Bulls. Chisholm, grubber kick behind the line. It's come off a London arm. Back to 1, says the referee. They're on the 0 play. It goes to Pickersgill. Pickersgill to Igodo. Igodo is brought down 18 metres out in front of the post, and Bradford have a fresh set of 6 to throw at the Scholars. Halafihi. Green is like the man possessed, James Green. 5 red and black shirted Scholars defenders bring him down 5 metres out. It goes to Lilly. Lilly out of the defensive line. Referee Craig Smith has put whistle to lips. There's a bit of afters after the tackle. James Green not happy with something that's happened off the ball. So too Vila Halafihi, and they're looking towards Demeric Pello, and Demeric Pello, I think, as something happened at the ruck as the ball has left the ruck, and I think the penalty is going to go to the Scholars here, John. Referee Craig Smith has obviously seen the retaliation from Green. Chisholm will come on and just have a word, an eavesdrop on the conversation, but it remains London 6, Bradford 46. We'll ask you for the Bulls Live Proper Sport Man of the Match in around about 10 minutes' time. We've got 14 minutes remaining here, and it will be Demeric Pello, who's just been called out by referee Craig Smith after the indiscretion from James Green. Corey Liam says Pickersgill has been brilliant this season. Didn't deserve to lose his place last week. Gary Boucher, Green's a top player. Stephen Canavan, Green has been quality, so too, says Donald Wharton. And the Scholars, well, that error might come back to haunt them. A big collision there from the base of the scrum. And now there's a bit of pushing and shoving between Lamont Bryan and Ross Peltier. I think it's all fun and games out there. There's a couple of Jamaican internationals. And a seventh error from the Scholars now is going to hand the Bulls a full set in great field position. Dane Chisholm. Pops the ball in. It goes to Pickersgill. Pickersgill with a show and go. Pickersgill! A great try! Individual brilliance! The mercurial Brandon Pickersgill has scored on his return to action, and that will please head coach John Keir. A 10th try for the Bulls. 10 of the best. 50 points up now.
Tough lesson for the Scholars, but when you play teams like Bradford, if you make an error, they will punish you, and that's exactly what they've just done. Poor handling there from Matt Davies, who's on loan here from the Broncos, and then, you know, off the back of the scrum, Pickers reached out, scored. I still think there's more and more to come yet. We had a little conversation this morning about a 60-point margin. Am I going to be winning some money today, Mr. Gledhill?
Well, you certainly didn't have that bet with me, but Dane Chisholm will strike the pause. Nothing to it. An extra 2 points there, and it is London Scholars 6, Bradford Bulls 52 now on Bulls Live and Proper Sport this afternoon, and that'll give Brandon Pickersgill a lot of confidence back after missing out last week in arguably the biggest game of the season. Chisholm out 6 from 10, and we're in the 68th minute here at New River Stadium, and there's a chance here for the Bulls to potentially hit John Keyes' prediction, which was a Bradford win of 60 points. London have got the ball back from the restart for the third time in the second half. That might cause concern for John Keir. But so far, so good for the Bulls. Integrated a new half-back partnership between Chisholm and Lilly this afternoon. But here come the Scholars. Neat little offload out the tackle from Embraga towards Bryan. Lamont Bryan upended in a two-man tackle. Halafihi going for the legs. Here goes Bryan. Bryan to Pello. Pello on top of the Bulls line. Can he get the ball down? No, he can't. 2 metres out. 10 minutes remaining here. As Foreman's pass has been intercepted by Tayo Igodo, but he couldn't retrieve the ball. And you suspect if Tayo Igodo takes that in the breadbasket, that is goodbye. And he's gone 90 metres under the post. Here come the Scholars. Lamont Bryan. It's like bumper car stuff out there. He's brought down 8 metres out. 20 in from the far stand side. We've not had an attendance figure yet this afternoon, but potentially a new record crowd for the London Scholars. Neil Foreman in at dummy half. They'll reverse the play via Charlie Lawrence. The kick comes in. They're going to score here, the Scholars. And that's a great try. Lamek Jumba, he scored a brace last week against Whitehaven, and he scored a brace this afternoon. That will end Bradford's 32 unanswered point score. It is now 10 points to 52. 71 minutes gone on the clock. And Lamek Jumba, he has got his second of the afternoon. And Foreman, from in front of the post, makes no mistake. So Foreman goes out to 2 from 2. And there you have it. Bulls Live, Proper Sport. London Scholars 12, Bradford Bulls 52. And just to recap what's happening in the world of Rugby League tomorrow. Doncaster hosting Oldham, Hemel against West Wales Raiders, Keighley Cougars against Hunsley, North Wales Crusaders against Workington Town, Whitehaven at home to Newcastle Thunder, and York City Knights host Coventry Bears. The Bears, they've won the last 4 on the bounce. You can listen to that game on Proper Sport tomorrow afternoon from 2:45. And seeing, as the clock says, we're in the final 8 minutes of the game on Bulls Live Proper Sport this afternoon. We're going to throw open the man of the match voting. Let us know who you feel has been the man of the match. Could be a Scholar, could be a Bulls player. Let us know in the comments, and we'll get Tom Maguire to try bring the player up here to the gantry at the back of the stand, and you can get some immediate post-match reaction from one of the Bradford players, who I'm sure almost certainly will get the vote. Thomas Newsom says Igordo, man of the match. What a debut. Stuart Collinson says Chisholm. And Peter Ridge says defending the line is just vitally important as also scoring. Steve Potts saying Igordo. Kyle Scully says Chisholm. So it's looking like it's going to be between Igordo and Chisholm. Credit to the Scholars, though. That never say die attitude. Still keeping the fire burning. 12 points scored against the Bulls, the league leaders here. When they met at Odsal earlier on in the season, it was a similar sort of score. 54 points to 16 on that occasion at Odsal. And funnily enough, Ethan Ryan scored 4 tries that afternoon. So Ethan Ryan has 7 tries for the season against the Scholars. Ethan Ryan certainly loves inflicting a bit of capital punishment. Scholars coming up with their 8th error of the afternoon. So 8 errors apiece. Everything seemingly evening itself out. A goal line dropout apiece and 6 penalties apiece. Symmetry on the off-field stats. Referee Craig Smith not happy with how the scrum was formed. Chisholm will put the ball in. Out from Flanagan, who's back on the field for the final 7 minutes. James Green getting a lot of man of the match votes in the comments. Keep them coming. Here goes Steve Crossley driving forward. He's averaging, on average, Steve Crossley, 9.8 metres per carry this season for the Bulls. What an effort that is against tough physical opposition. Flanagan's brought down 10 metres inside the London Scholars half. Here goes Mikey Wood. Wood wrapped up across the face. Seen by the official. Penalty count now is 7-6 against the Scholars. And Mikey Wood wins a penalty in the sunshine. 5.5 minutes remaining here on the stopwatch. Bradford hunting an 11th try here. So far, so good for John Keir's side this afternoon. Flanagan to Lilly. Lilly takes the line on, gives the ball to Peltier. Peltier, big, strong, industrious drive towards the line. And Peltier is brought down 5 metres out. Flanagan looks for options, finds Steve Crossley. Chisholm. Mitchella through a hole. Mitchella will end the try scoring streak. He's got his first try in 6 games. And Minchella has tried 26 of the season. He's 19th in Betfred League 1. The Bulls do have the 11th try.
Too easy, eh? Walked in, didn't he? Just walked in. Very bit disappointing for London, I think, second half. As you said, similar score to the game up at Odsal, but the Bulls have absolutely motored on this half, haven't they? London have had some possession but not managed to get anything out of it apart from 1 try. I do like the comment though that came in about defending your line is important, because we don't want to be taking anything for granted at all with these results. We've got to stop people scoring.
Dane Chisholm from in front of the posts. Adds on the extra 2. And on Bulls Live Proper Sport this afternoon, London Scholars 12, Bradford Bulls 58. And Tom Maguire as the attendance.
Yeah, I've just been speaking to Simon Fox. He just said that the official attendance today is 1,142. So a great crowd attendance here for more League One action on Proper Sport.
4-figure attendance here, not quite beating the record attendance set last season against Toronto when they were the visitors, but nonetheless another 4-figure crowd in Betfred League 1, and the Scholars once again going for that shallow restart. So, 3 minutes remaining here in the capital. London 12. Bradford 58. As we said, Elliot Minchella crossing the line for his first try in 6 games. He has been invited to the party. Steve Crossley, he'd like to cross the line. Here goes Flanagan. Lilly looking for runners. Finds Igodo. Toyo Igodo, certainly becoming a crowd favourite on debut, will win another penalty to the Bulls. He tried to get the quick play of the ball. Too much haste for the Scholars. The Scholars had to hold on. And Bradford are going to have a full set of 6 with 2 minutes remaining on the clock to potentially get the 60-point mark. It's 58 points to 12. Flanagan will tap the ball. Under 2 minutes remaining, Lilly shifts the play to Chisholm. Chisholm, good hands to Pickersgill. Bradford looking very effervescent, very controlled with the ball. 10 metres out. Good, strong charge towards the line by Matt Garside. Gets to his feet. Flanagan shows the dummy. Flanagan's over, held up. They'll go back to the 10. There was a momentary pause there from referee Craig Smith, but he arched the back. And George Flanagan claims a try, but George is not kidding anyone on that count. So we're in the final minute here at New River Stadium. Chisholm, Peltier. Peltier's wrapped up on his back. That's tackle number 4. 1 tackle remaining. Final Bradford set of 6. You feel Steve Crossley's gone without the ball. Crossley takes that, you feel. He's got too much upper body strength from 5 metres out, and he will touch down for Bradford's 12th try, but it's not to be. Scrum head and feet to the Scholars. Final minute remaining, and a lot of votes for Green, Chisholm and Igodo. John, nobody, I can't split it. Who's the Bulls Live? Who's the Bulls Live proper sport? Man of the match that we're going to see Tom speak to at the end.
It's a tough one, you know. I think Toyo's had a fantastic game. Chiz has played really well again. But as I said, I'd expect that from him in this competition. He's had a real good game. So now you've really put me on the spot. I'm going to go for Toyo on his debut. I think he's had a real big impact.
Well, there we go. Toyo Igodo, the Bulls Live proper sport man of the match. So Tom Maguire will be getting Toyo Igodo on the proper sport Facebook live stream. And Scholars playing out time here, to the credit as Lawrence to Martin. Martin's wrapped up 8 metres inside the Bradford half. We always knew it was going to be a difficult assignment for the Bulls, and oh boy, in that first half, the Scholars made the Bulls work incredibly hard. Brandon Pickersgill at the back will take the final tackle of this afternoon's match. Betfred League 1, round 19, here at New River Stadium, in front of another 4-figure crowd. It has finished London Scholars 12, Bradford Bulls 58. 11 tries from the Bulls. Man of the match, we couldn't split it. James Green, Dane Chisholm, Ethan Ryan, Toyo Igodo, all in contention. In the end, it was Toyo Igodo who just narrowly won the vote. And John Keys, just quickly before we sign off here, 80 minutes in 80 seconds, please.
I think London did themselves real good in the first half. Second half, struggled a bit, and as I said, I thought Bradford had run a lot of points in. Bradford's point of view, Chizzy was on fire. Great to see Jordan get over on his debut. Great performance from Toyo. Ethan's finishes is unreal. But again, for me, it's just another 2 points and a job done. And yeah, rattled some points in second half, which were needed. Soft tried to give away in the second half for Bradford, but John will be happy. Come down, 50 points on the board. Move on to next week, Whitehaven on Saturday at home. Going to be a bit of a tougher test than this. But some great performances today. To be fair, full credit to the Scholars. They never gave in. But the fitness levels between the two sides, there's too much of a gap for me.
Well, full time here then from the new River Stadium. Thanks for joining us on Proper Sport. It has been a ball. London Scholars 12, Bradford Bulls 58. Join us next week at Odsal, Whitehaven, the visitors.